Welcome to A Wheel Thing TV, I'm Dave Knoll. This week we're checking out the 2018 Kia Rio SLi. It's the 1.4 non-turbo engine and that archaic, unfortunately, 4-speed auto. It's priced at $22,990 plus on roads and with options like metallic paint at $590. Kia have done a fantastic job of keeping the Rio fresh. They've flattened out the roof, making it look a little bit lower, a little bit more angular. Around the front we've got re-profiled headlights. We've got LEDs around the headlights as well, which look fantastic at night, and, or even at daytime. If you're behind a car, you see it reflected in the back, and this new little scallop that this design feature has in the Kia family at the moment, right down at the bottom corner of the bumper. It's a nice uncluttered layout for the 1.4 litre petrol engine in here, 74 kilowatts, 6,000 RPM, 133 Newton meters at 4,000 RPM. But it's only a 4-speed auto Kia. If there's one thing that the Kia Rio really needs, it's a 6-speed automatic. 5 would probably just cut it, but a 6 definitely. There really is enough torque in the engine to take advantage of a 6-speed, even if we have to make it a CVT. But having a 4-speed is just so utterly archaic and ridiculous, and it really does hold back the driving performance of what could otherwise be a very enjoyable car to drive. At the other end, they've done a little bit of a redesign on the taillights with that slightly neon light look, and it looks fantastic. As is usual with the Kia equipment, it is very simple to use, very cleanly laid out, and you'll notice in the new Kia Rio SLi that we have the screen mounted up as a separate part of the dash rather than being inlaid. It seems to be a new design philosophy that's coming through. Radio, it's digital in the SLi, which is fantastic to see for one of the Korean brands jumping on board and doing so. And then we've got, of course, your inputs for media, such as your Bluetooth or MP3 from a player or something like that. Setup, very, very simple. Just hit a button, you've got all these options, and you just swipe across for other information in there. System information, well, it tells you basically where we are, if you want to update it or not. No, we don't, so we just go back a bit. Let's have a look at some of our user settings instead. Media notifications, all very exciting, isn't it? And then we go to our back button there. Very simple, nice and easy. Now, steering wheel operated information. Again, very simple, just sort of flick it through. Then you've got a little folder button here to take you through to different parts of the information you might require setting up for whatever might be needed there. Let's see if we can actually get the door to do what it tells us to. There we go, automatic locking or unlocking depending on your speed. This wonderfully simple air conditioning setup that Kia has in the Rio. And I did make the observation in a previous model just how much it looks like the controller for a certain game console. But how hot, how cold, how fast do you want to have the wind blow, where do you want the air to go, fresh or recirculate? As I say, very simple. It's what Kia specialise in. It's a nice deep set cargo space inside the Rio, but unfortunately it is still a space saver spare hidden underneath, not a full-sizer. The actual road holding, the suspension is good enough. You can toss it into turns quite well. On a wet road, you just need to back off a little bit. It's only a smallish little car, so you've got a very square, sort of squat wheelbase, and therefore you're just not sure that the tyres, as good as the tyres can be, won't provide that right level of grip on a wet and slidey road that, especially in Sydney, we tend to have. Having said that, on the roads that are of a little bit more coarser chip, you do have a little bit more confidence, but still you just want to make sure that the car is just dialed back in speed on a wet road. The Rio itself is a nice car to drive, but it really does need that 4-speed auto updating. That's the biggest hold up for the car. Otherwise, as an around town car, it's good enough. It just could be better. Head over to kia.com.au for all the information that you need, and for A Wheel Thing TV, I'm Dave Knoll.